Emily and I are a little tired this morning.
Just a little bit. And very hot.
I feel like the last time you and I recorded a podcast, was I out late? And
We were also tired. No, maybe, I don't know.
We're now. Had an event last night, which we're going to talk about in a second. But the reason for this podcast, when this podcast launches, it will launch the night before our new website goes live.
Yeah.
And
so we're celebrating. It's really hard to do though.
It feels really anticlimactic, I think, because like it was similar to what we talked about last time. Like when we finished recording all the videos, we were like, oh,
cool. So see you tomorrow. Like literally sat and recorded over 100 videos, banged them all out in this week, and we're like, all right.
Okay, we're done.
Bye. See you tomorrow. No, like moment of like, wow, that was a lot.
Right. We're trying to take a moment to celebrate here. I think it's just because it's been like such a long process. As many of you know, like this process started in August of 2021.
Yeah.
And so, very, very not unlike parenting, lots of ups and downs to the process, but to finally like see all of our like vision, hard work.
Yeah.
Energy, money come to fruition.
Oh man.
In this website, it's just going to be it's
honestly just been really such a long burn and a lot of delays in the ending that it just still doesn't feel real. But I do understand that it is actually going to go live. Yeah. So like maybe in that moment I'll be like, okay, now it's real.
I've been like the closest one working on it. That it's going to be fucking awesome.
That's an understatement. The closest one. You're like, what's closer than close?
Doing it? I'm not actually doing it. It's really like it's all of our branding is finally updating all the branding from our branding agency who we love. Just like making it easier for people anyway. Like I think what the launch like really means for me and for us is like this is actually like the next step to our services being available to everyone.
Yeah,
everywhere.
That is
like that's
exciting.
Actually what's so cool. Yeah. So just psyched. Like, can't wait for you guys to check it out. Would love to hear your feedback on the new site. So only if it's positive though. No, I'm just kidding. Give it a few weeks if you have some email for them to send you the negative. Don't send it to me. But as part of the relaunch of the website and the membership, we're like hosting a bunch of different experiences and events and one of those things we actually did last night, which is why we're tired. And it was really
old. Like I like to be in bed these days,
I know.
Before 9.
9 at the latest.
The dinner ended at 10.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa.
So old. But what we did last night was it was a cool experience. It's actually like nothing we've really ever done before.
Totally.
We did it in collaboration with this company called Misha Pods and their owner Marika, who is like her background and expertise and like her zone of genius, which was really clear at this event last night, is like in community building and like creating connections. So it's really cool to see her sort of like do her thing, but with like our people and followers. And so that was really cool. So basically the event was brought together a bunch of women. It was 25 women. Did it end up being 25?
Maybe about 23, but it was the mixture of the women was just so incredible because many of these women were entrepreneurs.
Well, first of all, everybody was moms.
Everybody was a mom.
Yeah.
So, and some women were pregnant.
Yeah.
Some women had one kid, multiple kids.
Yeah. And then some women were there, like, it was a really cool group. Like, some women were there as part of the Misha Pods community. Yep. Some people were there as part of the NAPS community.
Right.
Some people were there as they had their own brand and or a company that they were there sort of representing.
And then there's a lot of overlap. So some of these brands and companies that were there also are NAPS moms.
Totally.
And they either were a NAPS mom and then like later we partner with them in business or vice versa.
Yeah.
It just was a really cool mixture of people.
Really cool mixture of people.
Yeah.
Really fun night. And I think there were so many really great moments of the night. I think well, you can share your favorite part of the night. I mean, there's a funny part of the night, and then we'll share our favorite part of the night. But we sort of did like a couple different activities. One was like so it was a dinner, like it was actually like a sit down dinner. But before we sat down for dinner, the woman hosting the event, Marika, did this activity so that people didn't have to like introduce themselves 20 times.
Have the same small conversations with your drink all night. Right. Like, let's just get to know each other right away.
Yeah. So if you like ask questions, we were like standing in a circle, ask questions, you step into the circle, if the answer to that question is yes, and then you introduce yourself. So it was nice just to like hear everybody's story and get to know people there. But then when we sat down for dinner, what happened at dinner was everybody actually had the opportunity to have 5 minutes to have an ask.
I did love this though too, because normally when you sit down in a private room at a big table for dinner,
you just talk to the people.
That are around you, and we did do that for a few minutes until we started, but it was loud and there was just like a lot of people in there, so you would have never heard from everyone.
Right.
And Marika was like, listen, we're too like amazing to all be in the same room right now and not hear from everyone. Yeah. And so she really set this boundary that everybody was going to get a turn to talk at this giant table. Yeah. And that you know, to not, have side conversations too, and then to have this ask.
Yeah. Right. And so the asks were like, again, so everybody in the room is a mom. And there are some moms who are stay-at-home moms, there's some moms who are working moms, there's some moms who own their own business, there's some moms who are influencers. Like it was a pretty cool group. And so when we went around the table, the asks really ranged from things like something super logistical, like there were 2 asks, right? Like for somebody where it was like something logistical, like I actually am creating video content, need a videographer.
I need a virtual assistant to help me with my bookings, like a
totally
straightforward ask.
Yeah. And then but it was usually also followed up by like a bigger ask around like business or personal life. And there were a lot of just really cool asks, like around how to manage the change in relationship with your spouse, how to deal with like the really strong-headed 3-year-old. Yeah.
I love that people ask parenting questions. Yeah. Because I immediately, when she said we all had an ask, I just assumed that people were going to have business, like logistical asks. And the first mom that opened the floodgates to like parenting life. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, majority of the women that went after had a struggle at home with their kids or like balancing everything. Yeah. Like the imbalance of everything. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was hard to not take the floor at that point because Jamie and I, the minute somebody's like, my 3-year-old's giving me trouble, or I'm not sleeping, or my mother-in-law isn't helping this way, I was like, oh my God, Jamie and I just could like, just go live Ask a Nurse right now and just get a solution for everyone. Yeah. But it was cool because everyone jumped in when it was relevant or appropriate for them to like respond to the person's ask.
Yeah, I mean, like as much as obviously it was hard, like not hard for you and I to not jump in, we did jump in, but there was just like, there were so many incredible women at the table that like we didn't even have to jump in for every question. Like
I loved hearing everyone's responses. Yeah. So I did sit quietly for a bit. Yeah. Which is very hard for me to do.
Yeah. It was just it was a really cool night. We had a really good time. I think the best part of the night was dessert.
Oh my gosh, you guys. So I have to tell you. So today, Friday, April 14th, as we record this, is Maddie's, my middle child's 6th birthday. And so Lizzie's Bakery, Lizzie's a great friend of ours and a longtime NAPS mom. You should check her out. She has a wonderful bakery, a booming business. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, she made Maddie this beautiful koala bear cake for her birthday today. And she also made dessert for the event last night. Her thing is she does a lot of her thing.
She does cake, she does cupcakes,
but macaroons. Like she loves macaroons, and they come in these cute little boxes. So it was great. So she brings me Maddie's cake. She brings me the macaroons for the dinner, and I'm like, great. Jamie and I go over to Chestnut Hill, and I'm thinking like, I'm going to use this cake for Maddie at the family dinner. Yeah. But she has her class party. I'm like, just pull up in front of Wegmans.
We were in Chestnut Hill.
I'm like, I'm going to run in and just get like, cheap cupcakes for the class tomorrow. Right. So I run in, get these like 2 giant, like family style packs of cupcakes. Yep. And I don't want to leave them in the car at the dinner.
Because it's hot.
Because it was so hot, they're going to melt. So I bring them into the event, but I put them like behind a chair and a table, like out of sight with my purse and my belongings in a bag, like just tucked away. So now we're all seated at this dinner, and like Lizzie's macaroons were nearby to you know, they're beautifully boxed and they had her business card on them. And I'm like, you know, this is so exciting for your brand. Everyone will see it. And all of a sudden at the end of the dinner, these waitresses just come into the room carrying platters of cupcakes. And I don't notice the cupcakes at this point. All I'm thinking is these are not Lizzie's macaroons, and she like made them for the event. I'm panicking. I get up, I find the macaroons. I'm like, no, we need to be having these. And then somebody looks at me and goes, "Aren't those your daughter's cupcakes for school tomorrow?" Cupcakes, like cheap class cupcakes from Wegmans. And the waitress was like horrified. She just obviously saw them and was like, "I'll serve them."
Yeah.
So she's like, "Don't worry, I'll rebox them." And I'm like frantically passing out macaroons. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then I just like can't stop laughing now.
Oh, it was so funny.
And at that point, I cannot, Jamie is across from me, but like diagonal. I'm like, I can't look at you anymore the rest of the night.
Most of the night.
Because I just started dying laughing.
It was, that was a good moment.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, the cupcakes went to school today. And I will post on Instagram this koala bear cake. It is insane. So awesome. Maddie's really into koala bears, so she's gonna like just burst glitter out of her, you know, I don't know. I was thinking of trolls.
Burst glitter out of her
butt. She's gonna be so excited when she sees the koala bear cake. Having trouble with word finding.
Emily still is concussed, for anybody wondering, or at least she's gonna claim that she is for now.
I say words and Jamie's like, what is that word?
Made up a word yesterday.
I did make up a word yesterday. Yeah. Nobody noticed but you, though.
No, that's not true. Just I'm the only one who would tell you that you did. Anyway, let's bring this back full circle. Yeah. Okay, so as part of this like celebration podcast, as in honor of the dinner that we had last night, and thinking about all of you loyal listeners, followers, we want to continue this idea of like this ask, and we have an ask for all of you, which is to just share our platform, share about us. That can be sending somebody our website. That can be talking to a friend about the membership. That can be sharing our social media page. That can be emailing us a corporate contact, or maybe you work in a company that that would like to have our services or our membership like covered as part of your employee package. Like, our ask of you is to share NAPS far and wide, because that is why we created the space to begin with. To be able to serve as many parents as we can, not just locally here in Boston and Massachusetts, but across the globe. And like this relaunch and this restructure of our website is really, that is why we're doing it. It's because we want to be able to have that platform to help more parents in more places. So that is our ask of all of you.
And thank you in advance for helping us. And thank you to, like, a lot of you listening already do this. And
I agree.
And we wouldn't be where we are today without you doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, our clients, our NAPS families are like loyal NAPS. You've been nurtured by NAPS for a long time, and you're very loyal to us. And we get new business and clients from you because you do like DM something that we put up on Instagram that was helpful, or tell them about Live Ask a Nurse, or tell them about the podcast. So like, thank you for also having done that already, and thank you for continuing to do it.
Yeah, we love you guys so much. We're so psyched to have you see our 1.5 years of hard work.
Yes, if you like it, email Jamie. If you have any feedback, email Emily.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, thank you all.